KwaZulu-Natal now, where 2 people have been arrested in connection with the murder of Ward 41 councillor Mabhungu Mkhize. Mkhize was shot inside his vehicle on Friday. The incident happened just a few days after the attempt on the life of another Mkhambathini Local Municipality ANC councillor. So for more on this story, I'm now joined by the ANC provincial chairperson, Siboniso Duma, joins me this morning to take this conversation forward. And thank you so much for your time, Siboniso. Our condolences to the ANC and the family and loved ones of the ward councillor, Mabhungu Mkhize. But I mean, surely this is a concern for the ANC, not only political killings in the region, in the province, but also one of your own.
Thank you so much, Tumelo, to your good self and your kind words that have just echoed into the viewers at home. It's true that we are at the edge at this point in time. That is why many variables have been tried, including the special unit to be monitoring the issue of the public rep in particular. I'm sure soldiers have been deployed in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. Become so bad, a character like Comrade Councillor Mabhungu Mkhize was very versatile, a very good leader in the community of Mbali. They will just protect him, that he will be shot like this. It's okay, tomorrow these days, that at least they will kill a councillor or they'll try a councillor, then they will be caught instantly. Although that is not sufficient, but it was bad in the past, where you'll find that they will kill a councillor or they will kill a leader and nothing is going to take place. So I want to thank the men and women in blue who have done a great and sterling job.
Yeah, I have to say, when the reports also came out that there were already arrests in connection to the murder, I think that was one of the first things that brought some sort of relief to say at least we may edge closer to finding out the truth about what happened, the motive, but also the family receiving closure. But for you as the ANC, surely once again conversations inside your offices go about the safety of public servants. What are some of the strategies or interventions that perhaps you've put in place to continue to try and protect public servants?
I'm sure you'll remember that even in the state of the provincial address addressed by our own Premier, Comrade Mabhungu Mkhize, she highlighted and was emphatic on the optic of KwaZulu-Natal. If we want to attract more investors, if we want to attract more tourists, our province should be the safest destination. Yes, in terms of geographical location, we are placed strategic. In terms of the infrastructure, we are almost there. But if people are not sure what is going to happen to their families, then the interest will not be enticed at the level. So I think we have done that. We have set aside 110 million that each department had to put 10 million just to deal with crime. We have started the process of Izimbizo because the reality is that if you are at Umlazo, if you are in PMB, usually it's someone who comes from Pietermaritzburg who understands the dynamics in the area. It's not like someone who come from Free State to kill. It's not like someone who come from Mpumalanga. So usually the local guys. So I think it's something that we must uplift the state security. So I think that's what is critical, the urgency that at this point in time, because we can't have, in fact, Comrade Mabhungu received some death threats 3 days before, and unfortunately we couldn't act on time, or the municipality couldn't act. We were still preparing for that. Then he was then shot. Probably it's the same with the Mamumbata, comes from Nongoma municipality, who received a death threat, take them not serious enough, then he was shot. The same with Mkhambathini. So those matters, I think we must also change how we posture and how we react, because we only have one life. Yeah. It's not like if you're receiving the death threat, then we must not scare and say that, no, it was a councillor who can just wait.
Besides the efforts of the ANC, I want to just quote the parties in Jabulo Mdolo here who raised another concern. And I'm quoting him here, as Siboniso saying, what's unfortunate is that these incidents happen in the locality where these ward councillors work, sometimes where they live. So it gives the stress as to whether community members are aware of what's happening and if they're actually involved. Could this be another concern that, I mean, you could be putting in money, funding, hosting imbizo, but ward councillors get killed where they work and where they live. And sometimes that could raise concerns about the communities with which they serve, what they know, what information they have, and whether or not they may be involved, possibly.
In fact, the three spheres of government, you know that the local municipality is where the tire hit the ground. So it's so unfortunate that almost all the ward councillors in particular, they are subjected to be meeting different people on a regular basis. If there's a problem of water, they won't remember that it should be the water and sanitation and water affairs. If there's a problem with transport, they won't remember that it has to do problem with the provincial competency and the national competence, because the councillor resides and lives with the people. So we just want to crave the indulgence to our communities that the councillor becomes the machinery, the councillor becomes the instrument, someone who must drive change, someone who defend that ward on a regular basis. Because just imagine for the next 3 months now, they won't have a councillor. So you just have to deploy someone who will be acting, who does not understand the dynamics, the contemporaries of that era in Sunduzi in particular. So Ward 41. So we just have to make sure that we create awareness that the councillors are protected by the local communities. I'm sure you remember the story of Comrade Sankara. Sankara lives amongst the people. His house was not even fenced, yet he was the president. You must not feel safe only because there are precautions, there are inhibiting factors to allay fear or just to stop people. You must be knowing that these are my people, they are here just to defend me. I must also work selflessly to make sure that their lives are being changed.
Yeah, and because we're edging closer to the general elections next year, it's a matter of months now. Is the province, concerned, fearful that there might be more killings leading up to elections? I mean, is that a concern when it comes to the preparations and the rallying and campaigning that is expected during this time?
I'm sure you are mindful that since '94, the ANC had to take a different posture of doing more commitments. We can't just be running, spearheading the governance, and yet we are the one who are in the book of lamentation. We must protect our people. In the province of KwaZulu-Natal, there is that history of a bloodbath of people being killed by different organizations. So we know the modus operandi of ensuring that you do fear tactics so that people are not going to go and vote. We are going to try by all means just to cap that. We are going to try by all means to address those imbalances. Yesterday we were at Nongoma. We told the people of Nongoma that this can't be a no-go area. People of KwaZulu-Natal fought for this liberation. People of KwaZulu-Natal also had this landslide contributions to make Madiba the first president. So they must be defended. So almost all the areas will be visited, which is why we host Operation Sugumasake, which is why that we host Zimbizo, which is why the ANC has political outreach where we visit all the regions so that we are visible even in those areas that people might be skeptical just to go in those areas. So that if the leadership is available, then they'll be okay.
We'll leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me. Siboniso Duma, the provincial chairperson of KwaZulu-Natal, of course, joining me at the back of just tragic news of one of their own, a ward councillor, being shot dead. But we understand that 2 arrests have been made so far in connection of this tragic killing. And as we continue to follow through with the case and seeing what the possible motive could have been and whether indeed there will be convictions in this regard, I suppose politically out in KwaZulu-Natal, a close eye around the safety of public servants will be placed. ANC